better see honest Mr. Page. Is Falstaff there?
Shall I tell you a lie? I do despise a liar as I do despise one that is false, or as I despise one that is not true. The knight Sir John is there, and I beseech you, be ruled by your well-willers. I will keep the door for Mr. Page. God bless your house here.
Who's there?
Here is God Blessing, and your friend, and Justice Shallow, and young Mr. Slender, who peradventure shall tell you another tale, if matters grow to your liking.
I am glad to see your worships well. I thank you for my venison, Mr. Shaw.
Oh, Mr. Page, much good doeth your good heart. How does good Mrs. Page? And indeed, I thank you with my heart, with my heart.
Sir, I thank you.
Oh, I thank you. By yea and no, I do.
And how does good Mr. Slender?
Is Falstaff here?
Sir, he is within, and I would I could do a good office between you.
To spoke as a Christian's ought to speak.
He hath wronged me, Mr. Page.
Sir, he doth in some sort confess it.
If it is confessed, yet it is not is not that so, Mr. Page? He hath wronged me, indeed he hath. Not a word he hath. Robert Shallow, Esquire, saith he is wronged me. Persuade me not, parson you. I will make a Star Chamber matter of it. Though he were 20 Sir John Falstaffs, he shall not abuse Robert Shallow, Esquire.
In the county of Gloucester, a justice of the peace and Coram.
Aye, cousin, and Castellorum.
Aye, and Rottalorum too, and a gentleman born, Mr. Parson.
That is all one. If the knight Sir John Falstaff have committed disparagements unto you, I am of the church, and will be glad to do my benevolence, to make atonements and compromises between you.
No, the council shall hear it. It is a riot.
Nay, it does not meet the council hear a riot. There is no fear of God in a riot. The council, look you, shall desire to hear the fear of God, and not to hear a riot. Take your vizaments in that.
Oh, if I were young again, the pistol should end it.
Nay, 'tis better that friends is the pistol and end it. And there is also another device in my brain, which peradventure brings good discretions with it. There is Anne Page, which is daughter to Mr. George Page, which is pretty virginity.
Oh, Miss Anne Page. She has fair hair and speaks small like a woman.
Aye, 'tis that very person for all the world, as just as you will desire. And 700 pounds of moneys, and gold and silver, is her grandsire upon his deathbed. God deliver to a joyful resurrections, give, when she is able to overtake 17 years old. It were a good motion if we leave our priddles and prattle, and desire a marriage between Mr. Abraham and Miss Anne Page.
Here comes Sir John.
And now, Mr. Shallow, you'll complain of me to the king?
Knight, you have broke open my lodge, killed my deer, and beaten my men.
But not kissed your keeper's daughter?
Oh, tuck a pin, this shall be answered.
I will answer that straight. I have done all this, there, that is now answered.
Marry, sir, I have matter in my head against you and against your coney-catching rascals, Bardolph and Pistol.
How now, Mephistopheles?
You Banbury cheese? It is no matter.
Pistol, did you pick Mr. Slender's purse?
Aye, by these hands did he, or I would I might never come in mine own great chamber again.
Is this true, Pistol?
No, it is false, if it is a pick purse.
Ha! Mountain foreigner, Sir John, master of mine, I do combat challenge of this Latin bilbo. Word of denial from thy labrys, word of denial. Fraud and scum, thou liest.
By this hat then, 'twas he. I cannot remember what I did when he made me drunk, as I'm not altogether an ass.
What sayest thou, Scarlet and John?
Why, sir, for my part, I say the gentleman had drunk himself out of his fire.
There is Anne Page, which is daughter to Mr. George Page, which is pretty virginity.
Oh, Miss Anne Page. She has fair hair and speaks small like a woman.
Aye, 'tis that very person for all the world, as just as you will desire. And 700 pounds of monies and gold and silver is her grandsire upon his deathbed. God deliver to a joyful resurrections, give when she is able to overtake 17 years old. It were a good motion if we leave our priddles and prattle and desire a marriage between Mr. Abraham and Miss Anne Page.
Here comes Sir John.
And now, Mr. Shallow, you'll complain of me to the king?
Knight, you have broke open my lodge, killed my deer, and beaten my men.
But not kissed your keeper's daughter?
Oh, cut a pin, this shall be answered.
I will answer that straight. I have done all this there that is now answered.
Marry, sir, I have matter in my head against you and against your coney-catching rascals, Bardolph and Pistol.
How now, Mephistopheles?
You Banbury cheese?
It is no matter.
Pistol, did you pick Mr. Slender's purse?
Aye, by these hands did he, or I would I might never come in mine own great chamber again.
Is this true, Pistol?
No, it is false, if it is a pick purse.
Ha, mountain foreigner, Sir John, master of mine, I do combat challenge of this Latin bilbo. Word of denial from thy labrys, word of denial. Fraud and scum, thou liest.
By this hat then, 'twas he. Though I cannot remember what I did when he made me drunk, as I'm not altogether an ass.
What sayest thou, Scarlet John?
Why, sir, for my part, I say the gentleman had drunk himself out of his 5 sentences.
Nay, it is 5 senses. 5, what the ignorance is.
You hear all these matters denied, gentlemen. You hear it.
Oh, heavens, this is Miss Anne Page.
Nay, daughter, bring us some wine. We'll drink within. Come, gentlemen, we have a hot venison pasty to dinner. Come, I hope we may drink down all in kindness.
Oh, I had rather than 40 shillings, I had my book of songs and sonnets here. How now, Simple? Where have you been? I must wait on myself, must I? You've not the book of riddles about you, have you?
Book of riddles. Why did you not lend it to Alice Shortcake upon All Hallowmas last week before Michaelmas?
But that is not the question. The question is concerning your marriage.
Aye, sir, there's the point of it.
Aye, Mary, is it the very point of it to Miss Anne Page?
Why, if it be so, I will marry her upon any reasonable demands.
But can you affection the woman? Let us command to know that of your mouth, or of your lips. For divers philosophers hold that the lips is parcel of the mouth. Therefore, precisely, can you marry your good will to the maid?
Cousin Abraham Slender, can you love her?
I will do a greater thing than that, upon your request, cousin, in any reason.
Nay, conceive me, sweet coz, conceive me. What I do is to pleasure you, coz. Can you love her?
I will marry her, sir, at your request. But if there be no great love in the beginning, yet heaven may decrease it upon better acquaintance when we are married, and have more occasion to know one another. I hope upon familiarity will grow contempt. But if you say marry her, I will marry her, sir. That I am freely dissolved and dissolutely.
'Tis a very discretion answer, save the fall is in the ort dissolutely. The ort is, according to our meaning, resolutely. His meaning is good.
I think my cousin meant well.
Aye, or I would I might be hanged, la.
Here comes Miss Anne. There, Miss Anne, would I were young for your sake.
The dinner is on the table. My father desires your worship's company.
Oh, I will wait on him. There, Miss Anne.
Odds blessed will, I will not be absent at the grace. dinner.
Will it please your worship to come in, sir?
No, I thank you. Forsooth, heartily. I'm very well.
The dinner attends you, sir.
Oh, I'm not hungry, I thank you. Forsooth. Go, Sir John, for all you are my man. Go wait upon my cousin Shallow. A justice of the peace may be sometime beholding to his friend poor man. I keep but 3 men and a boy yet, till my mother be dead. But what though I live like a gentleman poorly born?
I pray you, sir, walk in.
I thank you. I'll walk here. I bruised my shin the other day at playing sword and dagger with a master of fence. 3 pennies for a dish of stewed prunes, and by my troth, I cannot abide the smell of hot meat since.
I pray you, gentle Mr. Slender, we wait for you.
I'll eat nothing, I thank you, sir.
By cock and paw, you shall not choose, sir. Come,
Nay,
come.
pray lead the way.
Nay, come, sir.
Miss Anne, yourself shall go first.
Not I, sir. Pray you, keep on.
I will not go before you, truly, I will not do you that wrong, truly, la.
I pray you, sir.
I will rather be untroublesome than unmannerly.
Go your ways, and ask of Dr. Caius' house which is the way. And there dwells one Mistress Quickly, which is in the manner of his nurse, or his dry nurse, or his cook, or his laundry, his washer, and his wringer.
Well, sir.
Nay, it is better yet. Give her this letter, for it is a woman who's altogether his acquaintance with Miss Anne Page. And the letter is to desire and require her to solicit your master's desires to Miss Anne Page. I pray you be gone. I'll make an end of my dinner. There is pippins and seas to come.
This must bully Hercules. Speak scholarly and wisely.
Truly, mine hostess, I must turn away some of my followers.
Discard, bully Hercules, cashier. Let them weigh, trot.
Well, I sit at £10 a week.
Oh, truly, thou art an emperor, Caesar, Caesar, and Caesar. I will entertain Bartle. Said I will, bully Hector.
Do so, good mine hostess.
I have spoke, let him follow. I will see thee cross in line.
Bartle. A tapster is a good trade. An old cloak makes a new jerkin. A withered serving man, a fresh tapster.
It is the life that I have desired. I will try.
Oh, base Hungarian rogue, won't thou the spigot?
There is no remedy. I must coney cash. I must ship.
Young ravens must have food.
Which of you know Ford of this town?
I know the rogue. He's of substance good.
My honest lad, I will tell you what I am about.
2 yards and more.
No quips now, pistol. Indeed, I am in the waist 2 yards about, but I am now about no waist. I am about thrift. Briefly, I do mean to make love to Ford's wife. I spy entertainment in her. She discourses, she calls, she gives the leer of invitation. I can construe the action of her familiar style. And the hardest voice of her behavior, to be English rightly, is, I am Sir John Falstaff.
Studied her well and translated her well, out of honesty, into English.
Now the report goes, she has the rule of her husband's purse. He hath a legion of angels.
As many devils entertain us to go get her, I say.
I have written here a letter to her, and here another to Page's wife, who even now gave me good eyes to examine my parts with most judicious oyas. Sometimes the beam of her view gilded my look,
Sometimes my portly belly
And it's son on dunghills, rhyme.
she did so course o'er my exteriors with such a greedy intention that the appetite of her eye did seem to scorch me up like a burning glass. She is a region Indiana, all gold and bounty. I shall be cheaters to them both. They shall be exchequers to me. They shall be my East and West Indies. I will trade to them both. Go, bear thou this letter to Mrs. Ford, and thou this to Mrs. Page. We will thrive, lads. We will thrive.
Shall I, Sir Pandarus of Troy, be come and by my side wear steel? Then Lucifer, take all.
I will run no base humor. Here, take the humor letter. I will keep the havior of reputation.
Hold, sirrah. Bear you these letters tightly. Sail like my pennants to these golden shores. Rogues, hence, abort! Vanish like hailstones, go!
Let vultures gripe thy guts. For Gordon Fulham holds, and high Lobegile is both rich and poor. Money all have in pouch when thou shalt lack, base Phrygian Turk.
I have operations which be humors of revenge. I will discuss the humor of this love to Page.
And I, to forward shall eke unfold, how Falstaff varlet vile. His dove will prove, his gold will hold, his soft couch defile.
My humor shall not cool. I will incense Page to deal with poison. I will possess him with yellowness. For the revolt of mine is dangerous. That is my true humor.
Thou art the Mars of malcontents. I second thee. Troop on.
Peter Simple, you say your name is.
Hi, for want of a better.
And Master Slender's your master.
Hi, forsooth.
What, John Rugby? John! Go, John. Go to the casement and see if you can see my master. Master Dr. Kai is coming. And if he do in faith and find anybody in the house, he will be an old abusing of God's patience and the King's English. I'll go watch. Go. We'll have a passing for it soon at night in faith at the latter end of a sea cold fire. An honest, willing, kind fellow, as ever servant shall come in house withal. And I want you no telltale, nor no breed bite. His worst fault is that he's given to prayer. He's something peevish that way. But nobody but has his fault. But let that pass. Tell Master Parson Evans I will do as I can for my master. Here comes my master. Oh, we shall all be shamed. Run in here, good young man. Go into this closet. He will not stay long. Frère Jacques, do me.
What is you sing? I do not like these toys. Pray, you go and fetch me out of my closet un boîtier vert. A box, a green box. Do you intend what I speak? A green box?
Aye, forsooth, I'll get at you. Oh, I'm glad he went not in himself. If he'd found the young man in there, he would have been horn mad.
Ah, fait. Ma foi, il fait for sure. Je me vais à la cour. La grande affaire.
Did this, sir?
Oui, mets-le en mon pocket, dépêche. Quickly! Where is that knave Rugby?
What, John Rugby? I am here, sir.
You are Jean Rugby, and you are Jacques Rugby. You will come with me to the court.
I am ready, sir.
By my trot, I tarry too long. Odds me, que j'oublié. There is some simples in my closet that I will not for the world I shall leave behind.
I mean, he'll find a young man there and be mad.
Diable! What is in my closet? Villainy! La ronde! Rugby, my pistol!
Good master, be content.
Wherefore shall I be content?
The young man is an honest man.
What shall the honest man do in my closet? There is no honest man that shall come in my closet.
I beseech you, be not so phlegmatic. Hear the truth of it. Came of an errand to me from Parson Hugh.
Well?
I forsooth to desire, sir.
By you.
Peace your tongue. Speak your tale.
to desire this good gentlewoman, your maid, to speak a good word to Mistress Anne Page for my master in the way of marriage.
This is all indeed law, but I'll ne'er put my finger in the fire and need not.
Parson Hugh send me you? Rugby, buy me some paper. Tell you a little while.
I'm glad he's so quiet. Fear thoroughly moved. You should have heard him so loud and so melancholy. But notwithstanding that, I'll do your master what good I can. And the very yea and the no is the French doctor, my master. But I may call him my master, look you, for I keep his house. And I wash, wring, brew, bake, scour, dress, meat and drink, make the beds, and do all my...
Aye, 'tis a great charge to come under one hand.
Are you advised of that? You shall find it a very great charge, and to be up early and down late. But notwithstanding that, to tell you in your ear, I would have no words of it. My master himself is in love with Mistress Anne Page. But I know Anne's mind. That's neither here nor there.
You jackanapes, give this letter to Parson Hugh. Bagarre, it is a challenge. I will cut his throat in the park, and I will teach a scurvy jackanape priest to meddle or make. You may be gone. It is not good you tarry here. Bagarre, I will cut all his 2 stones. Bagarre, he will not have a stone to throw at his dog.
Alas, sir, he speaks but for his friend.
It is no matter for that. Do not you tell me I shall have Anne Page for myself? Bagarre, I will kill the jack priest. I will myself have Anne Page.
Sir, the maid loves you, and all shall be well. We must give folks leave to pray. What a good year.
Come to the court with me, Jack Rugby. Bagarre, if I have not Anne Page, I shall turn your head out of my door. Follow my heels, Rugby.
You shall have Anne. Fool's head of your own. No, I know Anne's mind for that. Never a woman in Windsor knows more of Anne's mind than I do. Nor can do more than I do with her, I give heaven praise.
Who's within there? Hello?
Who's there, I trow? Come in the house.
How now, good woman? How dost thou?
The better that it pleases your good worship to ask.
What news? How does pretty Miss Anne?
Oh, in truth, sir, and she is pretty, and honest, and gentle, and one that is your friend. I can tell you that, by the way. I praise heaven for it.
Shall I do any good, thinkest thou? Shall I not lose my suit?
Troth, sir, all is in his hands above. But I'll be sworn on a book she loves.
If thou seest her before me, commend me. Well, farewell. I'm in great haste now.
Farewell to your worship. Truly an honest gentleman. But Anne loves him not, for I know Anne's mind as well as another does. Out upon it. What if I forgot? Very short that
Lecher, Mom.
Thank you.
And Mrs. Ford is downstairs waiting.
I will see her. Be thine own true knight by day or night or any kind of light, with all his might for thee to fight. John Falstaff, oh, wicked, wicked world, one that is well nigh worn to pieces with age to show himself a young gallant. Why, he hath not been thrice in my company. What should I say to him? I was then frugal of my mirth, heaven forgive me. Why, I'll exhibit a bill in Parliament for the putting down of men. How shall I be revenged on him? For revenged I will be, as sure as his guts are made of puddings.
Mrs. Page.
Mrs. Ford, what's the matter? You look very ill.
Nay, I'll ne'er believe that. I have to show to the contrary.
But you do in my mind.
Well, I do then, yet I say I could show to the contrary. Oh, Mrs. Page, give me some counsel.
What's the matter, woman?
Oh, woman, if it were not for one trifling respect, I could... If I would but go to hell for an eternal moment or so, I could be knighted.
What? Thou liest, Sir Alice Ford. These knights will hack, so thou shouldst not alter the article of thy gentry.
We burn daylight. Here, read Read, perceive how I might be knighted. I shall think the worth of fat men as long as I have an eye to make the difference of men's liking. And yet he would not swear, praised women's modesty, and gave such orderly and well-behaved reproof to all uncomeliness, that I would have sworn his disposition would have gone to the truth of his words. But they do no more adhere and keep place together than
mine never shall. I warrant he hath 1,000 of these letters writ with blank spaces for different names. Sure, more, and these are of the 2nd edition.
Oh!
He cares not what he puts into print when he will put us to. Well, I would rather be a giantess and lie under Mount Pelion. I will find you 20 lascivious turtles ere one chaste man.
Why, this is the very same, the very hand, the very words. What doth he think of us?
Nay, I know not. It makes me almost ready to wrangle with mine own honesty. Oh, I'll entertain myself like one that I'm not acquainted withal. For sure, unless he knows some strain in me that I know not in myself, he would never have boarded me in this fury.
Boarding, you call it? Why, I'll be sure to keep him above deck.
So will I. If he comes under my hatches, I'll never to see again. Let's be revenged on him. Let's appoint him a meeting, give him a show of comfort in his suit, and lead him on with a fine baited delay till he hath pawned his horses to mine hostess of the garter.
Nay, I will consent to act any villainy against him that may not sully the chariness of our honesty. Oh, that my husband saw this letter, it would give eternal food to his jealousy.
Why, look where he comes, and my good man too. He's as far from jealousy as I am from giving him cause, and that, I hope, is an unmeasurable distance.
You are the happier woman.
Let's consult together against this greasy night.
Yes. Now, let's see what to do. These 2 letters.
Well, I hope it be not so.
Hope is a curtled dog in some affairs. Sir John affects thy wife.
But my wife's not young.
He loves both high and low, rich and poor, young and old, one with another, Ford. He loves the gallimaufry. Ford, perpend.
Loves my wife. I do find it well.
With liver, burning hot, prevent. Or go thou like Sir Actaeon he, with Ringwood at thy heels. Oh.
I will seek out Falstaff.
Farewell.
I like not the humor of lying. He hath wronged me. But I have a club, and shall strike upon my necessity. He loves your wife. There's the short and the long.
I will not believe such a catine that the priest of the town commended him for a true man.
My name is Bardolph. I speak, and I vouch 'tis true. My name is Bardolph, and Falstaff loves your wife. Adieu. And there's the humor of it. Adieu.
Away, Bardolph. Believe it, page. He speaks sense.
I will be patient. I will find this out.
The humor of it, quotha. Here's a fellow frights English out of his wits.
It's a good and sensible lad. Well,
How now, Meg?
How now, sweet Frank? Why art thou melancholy?
oh, melancholy. I'm not melancholy. Get you home, go.
Faith, thou hast some crotchets in thy head now.
Mrs. Quigley shall be our messenger to this paltry night. You are come to see my daughter Anne.
Aye, forsooth, and I pray, how does good Mistress Anne?
Come up with us and see. We have an hour's talk with you.
How now, Mr. Ford?
You heard what the knave told me, did you not?
Yes, and you heard what the other told me.
Do you think there's any truth in it?
Hang him, slaves. I do not think the knight would offer it. But these that accuse him in his intent towards our wives are but a yoke of his discarded men.
Very rogues now they be out of service.
They're his men, are they?
Aye, marry, were they?
I like it none the better for that. Does he lie at the garter?
Aye, marry, does he? If he intend this voyage towards my wife, I should turn her loose to him, and what he get from her more than sharp words let it lie on my head.
I would not misdoubt my wife, but I would be loath to turn them together. A man may be too confident, Mr. Page. I would have nothing lie on my head. I cannot be thus satisfied. Though Page is a secure fool, and stands so firmly on his wife's frailty, I cannot put off my suspicions so easily. She was in his house here earlier, and what they made I know not. I'll look further into it. And I've a disguise to sound Falstaff. If I find her honest, I lose not my labor. But if she be otherwise, 'tis labor well bestowed.
Look where my ranting hostess of the garter comes. There is either liquor in her page or money in her purse when she looks so merry. How now, mine hostess?
How now, Bulger? Thou art a gentleman.
Cavalier Joseph, I say.
Good even and 20, good Mr. Page. Mr. Page, will you go with us? We have sport in hand.
Tell him, Cavalier Justice. Tell him, Bully Rook.
Oh, sir, there is a fray to be fought between Parson Hugh, the Welsh priest, and Caius, the French doctor.
A word with you, mine hostess.
What sayest thou, Bully Rook?
My merry hostess have had the measuring of their weapons, and believe me, I hear the parson is no jester. Hark, I will tell you what our sport shall be.
Hast thou no suit against my knight, my guest Cavalier?
None, I protest. But I'll give you a pottle of burnt sap to give me recourse with him, and to tell him my name is Brooke, only for a jest.
My hand, Bully. Thou shalt have regress and egress, said I well, and thy name shall be Brooke. 'Tis a merry night. Will you go, mine here?
Oh, have with you, mine hostess.
I have heard the Frenchman hath great skill with his pistols.
Oh, tut, I could have told you more. Why, I've seen the day with my pistol when I could have made you four tall fellows skip like rats.
Here, boy, here. Shall we wag?
Have with you. I'd rather hear them scold than fight.
I will not lend thee a penny.
Why, then the world's mine oyster, which I with knife shall open.
Not a penny. I have been content, sir, you should lay my countenance to pawn. I have grated upon 3 reprieve for you and your coach fellow barred off. I am damned in hell for swearing to gentlemen, my friends, you were good soldiers and tall fellows. And when Mrs. Bridget lost the handle of her fan, I took it upon mine honor, thou hadst it not.
Didst thou not share? Didst thou not have 15 pence?
Oh, reason, you rogue, reason. Thinkest thou I'll endanger my soul gratis? At a word, hang no more about me. You will not bear a letter for me, you rogue. You stand upon your honor. Why, thou unconfinable baseness, it is as much as I can do to keep the terms of mine honor precise. I myself, sometimes, leaving the fear of God in the left hand, and hiding mine honor in my necessity, am fain to shuffle, to hedge, and to lurch. And yet you rogue, will ensconce your rags, your catamountain looks, your bowl-beating oaths, and your red lattice phrases under the shelter of your honor. You will not do it, you!
I do relent. What wouldst thou more of man?
Sir, here's a woman would speak with you.
Oh, let her approach.
Give your worship good morrow.
Good morrow, good wife.
Oh, not so, and please your worship.
Good maid, then.
Oh, I'll be sworn, as my mother was the first hour I was born.
Well, I do believe the swearer. What with me?
Shall I vouchsafe your worship a word or two?
2,000, fair woman, and I'll vouchsafe thee the hearing.
There is one Mistress Ford, sir.
I pray your worship, come a little nearer this wise. I dwell with Master Dr. Caius.
Well, on, Mrs. Ford, what of her?
Your worship says very true. I pray your worship, come a little nearer this way.
Oh, I warrant thee nobody hears. Mine own people, mine own people.
Are they so? God bless them and make them his servants.
Well, Mrs. Ford, come, Mrs. Ford.
Why, sir, she's a good creature. Lord, Lord, your worship's a wanting. Well, heaven forgive you and all of us, I pray.
Mrs. Ford, come,
Now,
Mrs. Ford.
this is the short and the long of it. You have brought her into such a canary's as 'tis wonderful. The best courtier of them all, when the court lay at Windsor, could never have brought her into such a canary. Yet there had been knights and lords and gentlemen, and I warrant you, they could never get her so much as a sip on the cup, the proudest of them all. Yet there had been earls, nay, which is more pensioners. But I warrant you, all is one with her.
But what says she of me? Be brief, my good she-Mercury.
Ma'am, she hath received your letter, for the which she thanks you 1,000 times, and she gives you to notify that her husband will be absent from his house between 10 and 11.
10 and 11?
I foresee. And then you may come and see the picture she says that you wrought up. Master Ford, her husband, will be from home. Alas, the sweet woman leads an ill life with him. He's a very jealousy man. She leads a very frampoed life with him, good heart.
10 and 11. Woman, commend me to her. I will not fail her.
Why, you say well, but I have another messenger to your worship. Mistress Page hath her hearty commendations to you too, sir. Let me tell you in your ear. She bade me tell you that her husband is seldom from home, but she hopes there will come a time. Truly, I never knew a woman so dote upon a man. Sure, I think you have charms, love. Oh, yes, in truth.
Well, not I assure thee, setting the attraction of my good parts aside, I have no other charms.
Blessing on your heart for it.
But pray thee tell me this. Has Ford's wife and Page's wife acquainted each other how they love me?
That were a jest indeed. They have not so little grace, I hope. That were a trick indeed. But Mistress Page would desire you to send her your little page of all loves. Her husband has a marvellous affection to the little page, and truly Master Page is an honest man. Never a wife in Windsor leads a better life than she does. Do what she will, say what she will, take all, pay all, go to bed when she lists, rise when she lists, all is as she will. And truly she deserves it, for if there be a kind woman in Windsor, she is one. You must send her your page, nay,
I will.
Nay, but do so then. And look you, he may come and go between you both. And in any case, have a nay word that you may know one another's mind. And the boy never need to understand anything. For 'tis not good that children should know wickedness. Old folks, you know, have discretion, as they say, and know the world.
Yes. Well, woman, commend me to them both. Here's my purse.
Ah.
I am yet thy debtor. Boy, go along with this woman. This news distracts me.
This punk is one of Cupid's carriers. Clap on more sails. Pursue, up with your fight. Give fire. She is my prize, or ocean whelm them all.
Sayest thou so, old Jack? Go thy ways. I'll make more of this old body than I have done. Wilt thou, after so much money spent, be now a gainer? Will they yet look after thee? I thank thee, old body. Let them say 'tis grossly done. So it be fairly done, no matter.
There's one Mr. Brooke below would fain speak with you and be acquainted with you, and hath sent your worship a morning's draught of sack.
Brooke is his name.
Aye, sir.
Well, call him in. Such brooks are welcome to me that o'erflows such liquor. Mrs. Ford and Mrs. Page, have I encompassed you both? Go to, via.
Bless you, sir.
And you, sir, would you speak with me?
I make bold to press with so little preparation upon you.
Oh, you're welcome, sir. What's your will? Give us leave.
Sir, I'm a man who hath spent much. My name is Brooke.
Good Mr. Brooke. I desire more acquaintance of you.
And I sue for yours. Oh, not to charge you, for I must let you understand I think myself in better plight for the lender than you. The which has somewhat emboldened me in this unseasoned intrusion. For they say, money go before, always do lie open.
Money is a good soldier, sir, and will on.
Troth, I have money here, sir, that troubles me. If you will help me bear it, take all, or half, for easing me of the carriage.
Good Mr. Brooke, I know not how I may deserve to be your porter.
I will tell you if you will give me the hearing.
Mr. Brooke, I am your servant.
There's a woman of this town. Her husband's name is Ford.
Yes, sir.
Well, I've long loved her, and I protest to you bestowed much upon her. Not only followed her with doting observance, but I feed every slight occasion that could but niggardly give me sight of her. I've given her many presents, and given largely to many to know what she would have given. Briefly, I have pursued her, as love hath pursued me. That is, on the wing of all occasion. But whatsoever I have merited from this, in my means, in my mind, meed, I'm sure I have received none, unless experience be a jewel. That I have purchased at an infinite rate, and that hath given me to say this. Love, like shadow, flies when substance love pursues, pursuing that flies, and flying that pursues.
Have you received no satisfaction of promise at her hands?
Never.
Have you importuned her to such a purpose?
Never.
To what purpose have you unfolded this to me?
Oh, sir, you're a gentleman of excellent breeding, admirable discourse, of great admittance, authentic in your place in person, generally allowed for your many warlike, courtlike, and learned preparations. Believe it, for it is so. There is the money. Spend it. Spend more. Spend all I have. Only give me so much of your time in exchange for it as to lay an amiable siege to this Ford's wife. Use your art of wooing, win her consent. If any man may, you may as soon as any.
Would it apply well to the vehemency of your affection that I should win what you would enjoy? Methinks you prescribe to yourself very preposterously.
Well, I understand my drift. She dwells so securely on the excellency of her honor that, why, the folly of my soul dare not present itself. She's too bright to be looked against. Now, could I come to her with some detection in hand? My desires at instance and argument to commend themselves? Why, I could then drive her from the ward of her purity, her marriage vow, and 1,000 other her defenses which are now too strongly embattled against me. What say you to it, Sir John?
Mr. Brooke, I will first make bold with your money. Next, as I am a gentleman, give me your hand. And lastly, you shall enjoy Ford's wife.
Good Sir John.
I say you shall, you shall.
Want no money, Sir John, you shall want none.
Want no Mrs. Ford, Mr. Brooke, you shall want none. I shall be with her, I may tell you, by her own appointment. Even as you came into me, her assistant or go-between parted from me. I say I shall be with her between 10 and 11. For at that time the jealous, rascally knave, her husband, will be forth. Come you to me soon at night, you shall know how I speak.
I am left in your acquaintance, sir. Do you know Ford, sir?
Hang him, the poor cuckoldly knave, hang him. Yet I wrong him to call him poor. They say the jealous, wittly knave hath masses of money, for the which his wife seems to me to be well favored. I will use her as the key of this cuckoldly rogue's coffer. And there's my harvest home.
I would you knew, Ford, sir, that you might avoid him if you saw him.
Hang him, mechanical salt, but a rogue hang him. I will stare him out of his wits. I will awe him with my cudgel. It shall hang like a meteor o'er the cuckold's horns. Mr. Brooke, thou shalt know, I will predominate over the peasant, and thou shalt lie with his wife. Oh, the knave, I will aggravate his style. Thou, Mr. Brooke, shall know him for knave and cuckold. Come to me soon at night.
Good, sir. What a damned Epicurean rascal is this? My heart is ready to crack with impatience. Who says this is improvident jealousy? The hour is set. The match is made. My wife has sent for him. Would any man have got this? Oh, see the hell of having a false woman. My bed shall be abused. My coffers ransacked. My reputation gnawed at. And not only do I stand to receive this villainous wrong, but I stand under the adoption of terms by him who does me this wrong. Oh. Names, terms. Amion sounds well. Lucifer well. Barbazon well. Ah, but these are just devil's additions. The names of fiends. The cuckold. Whittle. Cuckold. The devil himself has not such a name. Pageless. A secure. He would not doubt his wife. He would not be jealous. I would rather trust Parson Hugh the Welshman with my cheese, a thief with my ambling gelding, an Irishman with my whiskey bottle, than my wife with herself. Then she plots, then she ruminates, then she devises, and what they will in their hearts they may effect. They will break their hearts, but they will effect. God be praised for my jealousy. Well, 'tis 11 o'clock. I will about it. I will prevent this. Detect my wife. Be revenged on Falstaff and laugh at Page. I will about it. Better an hour too soon than a minute too late. Fine.
I pray you now, good Mr. Slender Serving Boy, and friend Simple by your name, which way have you looked for Mr. Caius, which calls himself Doctor of Physic?
Marry, sir, the pity ward, the park ward, every way, old Windsor way, every way but the town way.
I most vehemently desire you will also look that way.
I will, sir.
Bless my soul, how full of colours I am, and trembling of mind. Oh, I shall be glad if ye have deceived me. How melancholies I am. I will knock his urinals about his nails custard when I have good opportunities for the ark. Bless my soul. Mercy on me. I have a great disposition to cry.
Parson Hugh, he's coming this way, Parson Hugh.
Oh, he's welcome. Heavens prosper the right. What weapons is he?
Why, no weapons. Yonder comes my master, Master Shallow, and another gentleman from Frogmore over the stile this way.
I pray you, give me my coat, or else keep it in your arms.
Good morrow, Parson Hugh. How now, Parson Hugh? Oh, keep a gamester from the dice and a good student from his book, and it is wonderful.
Oh, sweet Aunt Page.
Save you, good Hugh. Bless you from his mercy's sake, all of you.
What? The gun and the wort? Do you study them both, Parson Hugh?
And youthful still this fine spring day. There is reasons and causes for it. We are come to you to do you a good office, Parson Hugh. Very well. What is it? Yonder is a most reverend gentleman who, belike receiving wrong from some person, is at most odds with his gravity and patience that ever you saw.
I have lived some 80 years and upward. I never heard a man of his place, gravity, and learning so wide of his own respect.
What is he? I think you know him. Dr. Caius, the renowned French physician. God's will and his passion of my heart. Why, as lief you would tell me of a mess of porridge. Why? He has no more knowledge in Hippocrates and Galen, and he is a knave besides, a cowardly knave, as you would desire us to be acquainted with all. I warrant you, he's the man should fight with him.
It appears so by his weapons.
Oh, sweet Aunt Page.
Here comes Dr. Caius.
Oh, no.
By God, you are the coward, the jacket dog,
No.
journey.
Caius, I will not you're in all about your name.
Please, control yourselves. I really...
Too serious.
No,
Parson, no, seriously, no.
A worm, a deer.
No, Parson. Oh, no, I wanted to fight with you. No, Parson, give me my weapon, please. No.
Am I politic? Am I subtle? Am I a Machiavel? Shall I lose my good doctor? No, he gives me the potions and the motions. Shall I lose my good Parson Hugh? No, he gives me the proverbs and the no verbs. Give me thy hand, terrestrial. So, give me thy hand, celestial. Oh, thy hearts are mighty, thy skins are whole, and let burnt sack be the issue. Come, lay their pistols to pawn. Follow me, lad of peace, follow.
Trust me, mad hostess. Follow, gentlemen, follow.
So what will you be doing, you thinking?
Oh, sweet Aunt Page.
Gentlemen.
Ha! Do I perceive that? Are you making a sort of us?
This is well. I see she has made us her of Lautenstog. I desire you that we may be friends, and let us nog our brains together to be revenge on this same skull, scurvy, cogging companion, the hostess of the Garter.
By God, with all my heart, she promised to bring me very fine page. By God, she deceived me too.
Well, I will smite her noddles. I pray you follow.
Nay, keep your way, little gallant. You were wont to be a follower, but now you are a leader. Whether had you rather lead mine eyes or are your master's heels?
I'd rather, forsooth, go before you like a man and follow him like a dwarf.
Oh, you are a flattering boy. Now I see you'll be a courtier.
Well met, Mrs. Page. Whither go you?
Truly, sir, to see your wife. Is she at home?
Aye, and as idle as she may hang together for want of company. I think if your husbands were dead, you two would marry.
Be sure of that. 2 other husbands.
Where have you this pretty weathercock?
I cannot tell what the dickens his name is my husband had him of. What do you call your knight's name, sirrah?
Sir John Falstaff.
Sir John Falstaff.
I can never hit on his name. There's such a league between my good man and he. Is your wife at home indeed?
Indeed she is.
By your leave, sir, I am sick till I see her.
Hath Page any brains? Hath he any thinking? Sure they sleep. He hath no use of them. Why, this boy will carry a letter 20 mile as easy as a cannon will shoot point blank 12 score. He pieces out his wife's inclination, gives her folly motion and advantage. And now she's off to my wife, and Falstaff's boy with her. A man may hear this shower sing in the wind. Falstaff's boy with her. Good plots, they're well laid. And the revolted wives share damnation together. Well, I'll take him. For it is positive as the earth is firm that Falstaff is there. Oh, then I'll torture my wife. Pluck the borrowed veil of modesty from the so seeming Mrs. Page. Tybalt Page himself for a secure and willful action. And to these violent proceedings my neighbors shall cry aim.
Well met, Mr. Ford.
Good night. Will you go home to dinner with me, gentlemen? I have good cheer.
I must excuse myself, Mr. Ford.
And so must I, sir. We have appointed to dine with Miss Anne, and I'll not break with her for more money than I'll speak of.
We have lingered this day about a match between Anne Page and my cousin Slender, and today we shall have our answer.
I hope I have your goodwill, Father Page.
You do, Mr. Slender. I stand wholly for you. But my wife, Dr. Caius, is for you altogether.
Aye, by gal, and the maid is so love of me. My nurse, she quickly, she tell me so much.
Oh, what say you to young Master Fenton? He capers, he dances, he has eyes of youth. He writes poetry, he speaks holidays, he smells April and May. He will carry it, he will carry it. 'Tis in his buttons he will carry it.
Not by my consent, I assure you. The gentleman is of no having. He kept company with the wild prince in Poins. He is of too high a region. He knows too much. No, my wealth waits upon my consent, and my consent goes not that way.
I beseech you, sir, somebody go home to dinner with me. Beside your chair, we shall have sport. I'll show you a monster. You go, Parson, do. And you, good doctor. And you, Mr. Page. Well, goodbye, Mr. Page.
Goodbye, Mr. Shallow. Go home, John Rugby. I coming on.
Farewell, my heart. I will to my honest knight to Falstaff and drink canary with him.
I think I will drink pipe wine with him first.
What's in it?
I'll make him dance. You will go, gentles. I will not find you.
Well, you shall hear. As good luck would have it, comes in one Mrs. Page, gives intelligence of Ford's approach, and in her invention, and Ford's wife's distraction, they conveyed me into a buck basket, rammed me in with foul shirts and smocks, socks, foul stockings, greasy napkins, that Mr. Brooke, there was the rankest compound of villainous smell that ever offended nostril.
How long lay you there, sir?
Nay, Mr. Brooke, you shall hear what I have suffered to bring this woman to evil for your good. Being thus crammed in the basket, a couple of Ford's knaves, his hinds, were called forth by their mistress to carry me, in the name of foul clothes, to Datchet Lane. They took me on their shoulders, met the jealous knave, their master, in the door, who asked them once or twice what they had in their basket. Well, I quaked for fear, lest the lunatic knave would have searched it. But fate, ordaining he should be a cuckold, held his hand. Well, on went he for a search, and away I went for foul clothes. Oh, it was a miracle to escape suffocation. And in the height of this bath, being thus stewed in grease like a Dutch dish, to be thrown into the Thames and cooled, glowing hot in that surge like a horseshoe. Think of that, Mr. Brooke, hissing hot. Think of that.
Oh, in good sadness, sir. I am sorry you have suffered, sir, for my sake. My suit, then, is desperate. You'll undertake it no more.
Mr. Brooke, I will be thrown into Etna, as I have been into Thames. There I will leave her thus. Her husband has this morning gone a-birding. I have another embassy of meeting with her. Twixt 8 and 9 is the hour, Mr. Brooke.
Why, 'tis past 8 already, sir.
Is it? Oh, well, then I will address me to my appointment. Come to me at your convenient leisure, and you shall know how I speed. And the conclusion shall be crowned with your, enjoying her. Adieu. You shall have her, Mr. Brooke. Mr. Brooke, you shall cuckold Ford.
Is this a dream? Is this a vision? Do I sleep? Awake, Mr. Ford. Awake! There's a hole in your best coat, Mr. Ford. This is to be married. This is to have linen and buck baskets. Well, I will proclaim myself what I am. I will now take the lecher. He's at my house. He cannot escape me now. It's impossible he should. He cannot creep into a halfpenny purse, nor into a pepper box, lest that devil that guides him should aid him. I will search impossible places. Though I am what I cannot avoid, yet to be what I would not shall not make me tame. If I have horns to make one mad, let the proverb go with me. I shall be horn mad.
Oh, Mrs. Ford, I see your sorrow hath eaten up my sufferance. I see you are obsequious in your love, and I profess requital to a hair's breadth. Not only, Mrs. Ford, in the simple office of love, but in all the accoutrement, compliment, and the ceremony of it. Oh, but are you sure of your husband now?
Oh, he's a-birding, sweet Sir John. Oh, step into the chamber, Sir John. Oh, quickly, quickly.
How now, sweetheart? Who's at home beside yourself?
Oh, why, none but mine own people.
Indeed?
No, certainly. Speak louder.
Truly, I'm so glad you have nobody here.
Why?
Why, woman, your husband is in his own loons again. He so carries on yonder with my husband, so rails against all married mankind, so curses all these daughters of what complexion soever, so buffets himself on the forehead, crying, "Peer out! Peer out!" that any madness I ever yet beheld in him seems but patience, civility, and tameness to this his distemper he is in now. Oh, but I'm glad that night is not here.
Why, does he talk of him?
Of none but him, and swears he was carried out the last time he searched for him in a basket. Protest to my husband that he is now here, and hath drawn him and the rest of their company from their sport to make another experiment of his suspicion. Oh, but I'm glad that night is not here. Now he shall see his own foolery.
How near is he, Mrs. Page?
Hard by at street's end. He'll be here anon.
I am undone. The night is here.
Why, then you are utterly shamed. And he's but a dead man. Oh, what a woman are you. Away with you. Better shame than murder.
Oh, which way shall he go? How shall I bestow him? Shall I put him in the basket again?
No, I'll go no more of the basket. May I not go out? There he comes.
Alas, 3 of Mr. Ford's brothers watch the door with pistols, that none shall issue out, otherwise you might
What shall I do? I'll creep up into the chimney.
Billy, I used to discharge their birding pieces. Creep into the kiln. Oh, he will.
Where is it?
He will seek there, on my word. Neither press, coffer, chest, trunk, well vault. But he has an abstract for the remembrance of such places, and goes to them by his note. Oh, there is no hiding you in this house.
I'll go out then.
If you go out in your own semblance, you die, Sir John. Unless you go out disguised. How might we disguise him? Alas, today I know not.
There is no woman's gown big enough to fit him. Otherwise he might put on a hat and muffler and so escape.
Good hearts, devise something, any extremity rather than a mischief.
My maid's aunt, the fat woman of Frankfurt, has a gown here. I, in good faith, it will service him. She's as big as he is, and there's a hat and shawl, too. Run, Sir John. Go, Sir John. Here's the stake, and I will look some linen for your head. Quick, Sir John, put on the gown a while. Look how ready your strength. I would my husband would meet him in this shape. He cannot abide the old woman of Frankfurt. He swears she's a witch, forbade her in my house, and has threatened to beat her.
Heaven guide thy husband's umbrella to him, and may the devil guide his umbrella afterwards.
But you say my husband is coming. Aye, in good sadness is he, and speaks of the basket, too.
Howsoever he hath had intelligence.
We'll try that again, for I'll appoint my men to put him in the basket and meet him at the door with it, as they did the last time.
Nay, but he'll be here presently. Let's go dress him like the witch of Brainford.
Go! I'll first direct my men what they shall do with the basket. I'll bring the linen for his head straight.
Hang him, dishonest varlet. We cannot misuse him enough. We'll leave a proof by that which we will do. Wives may be merry, and yet honest too. We do not act it often just to laugh. 'Tis all but true. Still swine eats all the draught.
Go, sir! Take the basket again on your shoulders. Your master is hard at door. If he bid you set it down, obey him. Quickly, dispatch!
Come, take it up. Pray heaven it be not full of nightmare. I don't believe there's so much lead.
Aye, but if it be true, Mr. Page, have you any way then to unfool me again? Set down the basket, villains. Somebody call for my wife. Youth in a basket. Oh, the few candidly rascals. So there's a knot, a gang, a pack, a conspiracy against me. Now shall the devil be shamed. Come, wife, behold what honest clothes you send forth to the bleaching.
Well, this passes. Oh, really, Mr. Ford, you cannot be let loose any longer. You must be pinioned.
Why, this is lunatic. This is mad as a mad dog. Indeed, this is not well, Mr. Ford, indeed.
Ah, Mrs. Ford, the honest woman, the modest wife, the virtuous creature that has the jealous fool to her husband. I suspect wrongly, do I, Mrs. Ford?
Heaven be my witness you do, if you suspect me in any dishonesty.
Hold it out, brazen face. Oh, come forth, sirrah!
This passes.
Are you not ashamed? Let the clothes alone.
I shall find you another.
Oh, 'tis unreasonable. Will you take off your wife's clothes? Come away.
Oh, empty me out the basket.
Why, man, why?
Mr. Page, as I am an honest man, there was one carried out of my house yesterday in this basket. Why may he not be there again? In my house, I am sure he is. My intelligence is true. My jealousy reasonable. Pluck me out of the thing.
If you find a man in there, he shall die a pleased death.
Here's no man.
By my fidelity. This is not well, Mr. Ford. This wrongs you.
Mr. Ford, you must pray and not follow the imaginations of your own heart. This is jealousy.
Well, is not here that I seek for.
No, nowhere else but in your own brain.
Help me to search my house this one time. If I find not what I seek, show no color for my extremity. Let me be forever your table's fault. Let them say of me, as jealous as Ford that searched the hollow walnut for his wife's leman. Once more, satisfy me. Once more, search with me.
What ho, Mrs. Page? Come you and the old woman out. My husband will come into the chamber.
Old woman! Now What old woman is this?
Oh, why, it's my maid's aunt from Brainford.
Oh, witch! A queen, a cuddling queen. Have not denied it from my house. She comes of errands, does she? Out of my house, you! Out, I say, you have!
Nay, good sweet husband, good gentleman, let her not strike the old woman. Come, Mother Pratt, come, give me your hand.
I'll track her. Out, I say, you baggage, you polecat, you rotten, out! Out of my house, I'll conjure you. You rotten, out of my house. I'll conjure you. I'll fortune tell you. Out, I say, out!
Why, Jesu, I think the woman is a witch indeed. I like not when a woman has a great beard. I spy a great beard under his muffler.
Are you not ashamed? I think you have killed the poor woman.
Nay, he will do it. Oh, 'tis a goodly credit for you.
Hang her, witch. Come, gentlemen. See but the issue of my jealousy. If I cry out upon no trail again, never trust me when I open again. This way, gentlemen.
Come, gentlemen, let's obey his humor a little further.
Like naughty witches. Oh.
He beat you most pitifully.
Nay, by that mass he did not. He beat you most unpitifully, he thought.
I'll have the umbrella hollowed and hung above the altar. It hath done meritorious service.
What think you? May we, with the warrant of womanhood and the witness of a good conscience, pursue him with any further revenge?
The spirit of wantonness is sure scared out of him. If the devil have him not, he will never, I think, in the way of ways to tempt us again.
Shall we tell our husbands how we have served him?
Yes, by all means, if it be but to scrape the figures out of your husband's brains. If they have in their hearts the poor and virtuous fat knight shall be any further afflicted,
I warrant they'll have him publicly shamed, and methinks there would be no period to the jest were he not publicly shamed.
Come to the forge with it, then shape it. I would not have things cool.
His was the bestest pleasures of all as ever I did look upon.
Did he send you both these letters in an instant?
Within a quarter of an hour.
Pardon me, wife. Henceforth, do what thou wilt. I will then suspect the sun with cold and thee with wantonness. See, how doth thou honor stand in him that was later a heretic, as firm as faith.
'Tis well, no more. Be not as extreme in submission as in offense. But let our plots go forward. Let our wives yet once again, to make us public sport, appoint a meeting with this old fat fellow where we may take him and disgrace him for it.
Well, there's no better way than that they spoke of.
What, to send him word they'll meet him in the park at midnight? Fie, he'll never come.
You say he has been thrown in the rivers and been grievously beaten as an old woman. Methinks there should be terrors in him, he should not come. Methinks his flesh is punished. He shall have no desires.
So think I, too.
Devise but how you'll use him when he comes, and let us two devise to bring him thither.
There is an old tale goes, that turned a hunter, sometime a keeper here in Windsor forest, doth all the winter time at still midnight walk round about an oak with great ragged horns. And there he blasts the tree and takes the cattle and makes milchkine yield blood and shakes a chain in a most hideous and dreadful manner. You have all heard of such a spirit, and well you know the superstitious idle-headed eld received and did deliver to our age this tale of Herne the Hunter for true.
Why, yet there want not many that do fear in deep of night to walk by this Herne's oak. But what of this?
Mary, this is our device, that Falstaff at that oak shall meet with us, disguised like Herne with huge horns on his head.
Well, let it not be doubted but he'll come, and in this shape when you have brought him thither, what shall be done with him? What is your plot?
That likewise we have thought upon, and thus, Nan Page, my daughter, and 3 or 4 others will dress like urchins, poofs, and fairies, green and white, with round horns upon their heads, and rattlers in their hands. Upon a sudden, as Falstaff, she and I are newly met, Let them from forth a song, which rush at once with some diffused song. Upon their sight, we two in great amazedness will fly. Let them encircle him about, and fairy-like pinch the unclean thigh, and ask him why that our fairy revel in their so sacred paths he dares to tread in shape of fame. Until he tell the truth, let the supposed fairies pinch themselves and prod him with their horns. The truth being known, we'll all present ourselves, dishorn the spirits, and mark him home to Windsor.
The dancers must be well practiced in this, or they'll ne'er do it.
I will teach the dancers their behaviors, and I will be like a jackanapes also, to prick the night with my horn.
That will be excellent. I will bide in the feast.
My nan shall be queen of all the fairies, finely attired in a robe of white.
That silk shall I go by.
And in the time shall Mr. Slender come and steal my Nan away and marry her at Eton.
Come, send to Falstaff tonight.
Oh, nay, I'll to him in the name of Brooke. He'll tell me he's perfect sure he'll come.
Fear not do that. Go, get us properties and trickings for our fairies.
That is about it. It is admirable letters and very honest neighbors.
Go, Mrs. Ford. Send Mrs. Quigley to Sir John to know his mind. I'll to the doctor. He hath my goodwill, and none but he to marry with Nan Page. That Slender, though well landed, is an idiot, and him my husband best of all affects. The doctor is well moneyed, and his friends potent at court. He and none but he shall have her, though 20,000 worthier come to crave her.
I would all the world might be cozened, for I have been beaten and cozened too. Oh, if it should come to the ear of the court how I have been transformed, and how my transformation hath been washed and cudgeled, they would melt me out of my fat drop by drop, and liquor fishermen's boots with me. I warrant they would whip me with their fine wits till I were as crestfallen as a dry pear. Well, if my wind were but long enough to say my prayers, I would repent. Now, whence come you?
From the two parties.
Well, the devil take one party and his damn the other, and so they shall be both bestowed. I have suffered more for their sakes, more than the villainous inconstancy of man's disposition is able to bear.
And have not they suffered? I warned you, especially one of them. Mistress Ford, good heart is beaten black and blue, but you cannot see a white spot about her.
What tellest thou me of black and blue? I myself was beaten into all the colors of the rainbow, and I was like to be apprehended for the witch of Brainford. But that my admirable dexterity of wit, my counterfeiting the action of an old woman, delivered me, I had been locked in the jail, or the common jail, for a witch.
Sir, let me speak within your chamber. You shall hear how things go, and I warrant to your content. Here is a letter, will say somewhat. Good hearts, what I do here is to bring you together. Sure, I think one of you serves not heaven well that you are so crossed.
Well, come up into my chamber.
Master Fenn, talk not to me. My mind is heavy. I will give over all.
Yet hear me speak. Assist me in my purpose, and as I am a gentleman, I'll give thee 100 pounds in gold more than your loss.
Master Fenton, I will hear you, and I will, at the least, keep your counsel.
From time to time, I have acquainted you of the dear love I bear to fair Anne Page, who mutually hath answered my affection, so far forth as herself might be her chooser, or even to my wish. I have a letter from her of such contents as you will wonder at, or the mirth whereof so lauded with my matter, or that neither singly can be manifested without the show of both, wherein fat Falstaff hath a great scene, or the image of jest I'll show you here at large. Ah, good hostess, tonight at Hans Oak, just twixt 12 and 1, must my sweet Nan present the fairy queen. The purpose why is here, in which disguise, while other jests are something rank on foot, her father hath commanded her to slip away with Slender, and with him at Eton immediately to marry. She hath consented. Now, madam, her mother, even strong against that match, and firm for Dr. Caius, hath appointed that he shall likewise shuffle her away, while other sports are tasking of their minds, and at the deanery where a priest attends, straight to marry her. To this her mother's plot, she seemingly obedient, likewise hath made promise to the doctor. Now thus it rests. Her father means she shall be all in white, and in that habit, when Slender seizes time to take her by the hand and bid her go, she shall go with him. Her mother, the better to denote her to the doctor, for they must all be masked and visited, or that quaint and green she shall be loose and robed, with ribbons pendant flaring about her head, and when the doctor spies his vantage ripe, to pinch her by the hand, and on that token the maid hath given consent to go with him.
But which means she to deceive, father or mother?
Both, my good hostess, to go along with me. Now thus it rests, that you'll procure the vicar to stay for me at church twixt 12 and 1, and in the lawful name of marrying, to give our hearts united ceremony.
Well, has them the device? All to the vicar? Bring you the maid, and you shall not lack a priest.
So shall I evermore be bound to thee. Besides, I'll make thee a present recompense.
Prithee, no more prattling. Go, I'll hold. I hope good luck lies in odd numbers. Away, go. They say there is divinity in odd numbers, either in nativity, chance, or death. Away.
I'll provide you a chain, and I'll see what I can do to get you a pair of horns.
Away, I say, time wears. Hold up your head and mince. How now, Mr. Brooke? Mr. Brooke, be you in the park about midnight at Hearn's Oak, and you shall see wonders.
Went you not to her yesterday, as you told me you had appointed?
Well, I went to her, Mr. Brooke, as you see, like a poor old man. But I came from her, Mr. Brooke, like a poor old woman. The same knave Ford, her husband, had the finest mad devil of jealousy in him, Mr. Brooke, that ever governed frenzy. Oh, I will tell you, he beat me. Well, in the shape of a woman. For in the shape of a man, Mr. Brooke, I fear not Goliath with a weaver's beam, because I know also life is a shuttle. I am in haste. Go along with me. I will tell you all. Ooh, since I plucked geese, played truant, and whipped top, I knew not what it was to be beaten until lately. Follow me. I'll tell you strange things of this knave Ford, on whom tonight I will be revenged, and I will deliver his wife into your hands. Follow? Strange things in hand, Mr. Brooke. Follow?
Come, we'll couch ourselves in the castle ditch till we see the light of our fairies. Remember, son Slender, my daughter.
Aye, forsooth, I have spoke with her, and we have a nay word to know one another. I come to her in white, and cry, Mum, and she cries, Budget, and with that we know one another.
That's good, too. But what needs your mum on her budget? The white will decipher her well enough. It struck 10 o'clock.
The night is dark. Fairies and spirits and light will become it well. Heaven prosper our sport. No man means evil but the devil. and we shall know him by his horns. Come, follow me.
Dr. Caius, my daughter is in green. When you see your time, take her by the hand, dispatch it to the deanery, and go quickly. Go before now into the park. We two must go together.
I know what I have to do. Adieu.
Fare you well, sir. My husband will not rejoice so much at the abuse of Falstaff as he will chafe at the doctor's marrying my daughter. But 'tis no matter. Better a little chiding now than a great deal of heartbreak.
Where is Nan now and her troop of little fairies? And that Welsh devil Hugh?
Couched in a pit
hard by Hern's Oak. They cannot choose but amaze him.
If he be not amazed, he will be mocked. If he be amazed, he will every way be mocked.
We'll betray him finally.
Against such lewdsters and their lechery, those that betray them do no treachery.
The hour draws on. To the oak! To the oak!
Trib, fairies, come and remember your parts. Be bold, I pray you. Follow me into the pit, and when I give the orders, do as I bid you. Come, Trib.
The Windsor bell hath struck 12. The minute draws on. Now, the hot-blooded gods assist me. Remember, Jove, thou wast a bull for thy Europa. Love set on thy horns. Oh, powerful love, that in some respects makes a man a beast, in some others a beast a man. Oh. You were also, Jupiter, a swan for the love of Leda. Oh, omnipotent love! How near the god drew to the complexion of a goose! Oh, a fault done first in the form of a beast. Oh, Jove, a beastly fault. And then another fault in the semblance of a fowl. Think on it, Jove, a foul fault. When gods have hot backs, what should poor men do? For me, I am here a Windsor stag, and the fattest, I think, of the forest. Send me a cool rut time, Jove, or who can blame me to piss my tallow?
Sir John!
Who's that?
Sir John!
My doe!
John! Oh, art thou there?
My doe!
My dear! My nail, dear!
Doe with the black Scott, let the sky rain potatoes. Let it thunder to the tune of green sleeves, hail kissing comfits, and snow erringos. Let there come a tempest of provocation. I will shelter me here.
Oh, Mrs. Page has come with me, sweetheart.
Divide me like a bride buck, each a haunch. I will keep my shoulders to myself, my sides to myself, and my horns I bequeath your husband. Am I a woodman, Speak I like Herne the Hunter? As I am a true spirit, welcome.
Alas! What noise?
What should this
be?
Well, what should this be? I think the devil will not have me damned, lest the oil that's in me should set hell on fire. He would never else cross me thus.
Fairies, black, grey, green, and white, your moonshine revelers in shades of night, your orphan heirs of fixed destiny, attend your office and your quality. Cry, hobgoblin, make the fairy oil.
They are fairies. He that speaks to them shall die. I'll wink and couch. No man their works must I.
Well, indeed. Oh, go you, and where you find a maid that ere she sleep has thrice her prayer said, raise up the organs of her fantasy. Sleep she as sound as careless infancy. For those asleep and think not on their sins, pinch them, arms, legs, back, shoulders, sides, and shins.
About! Our dance of custom round about the oak of Herne the Hunter, let us not forget.
Pray you, lock hand in hand, yourselves in order set, and 20 glowworms shall our lanterns be, to guide our measure round about the tree. Heaven say, I smell a man of Middle-earth.
Heaven defend me from that Welsh fairy, lest it should transform me into a piece of cheese.
Vile worm, thou wast overlooked even in thy birth.
Mom.
Fudge! Corrupt and tainted in desire. About him, fairy, sing a scornful rhyme, and as you trip, still pitch him to your time.
Fie on sinful fantasy, fie on lust and luxury. Lust is but a bloody fire, kindled with unchaste desire. Fed in heart whose flames aspire, has thought to blow them higher and higher. Pinch him, fairies, mutually, pinch him for his villainy. Pinch him and burn him and turn him about, till candles and starlight and moonshine be out.
Nay, do not fly. I think we have watched you now. Will none but Herne the Hunter serve your turn?
I will hold up the jest no higher. Now, Sir John, how like you Windsor wine? See you these, husband? Do not these fair yokes become the forest better than the town?
Oh, yes.
Now, sir, who's the cuckold now? Master Brooke. Falstaff's the name, the cuckoldly knave. Why, here are his horns. And Mr. Brooke, he hath none of Ford's, save his buck basket, his cudgel, and 20 pounds, which must be paid too. Mr. Brooke, his horses are arrested for it. Mr. Brooke.
Sir John, we have had ill luck. We could never meet. I shall never call you my love again, but I shall always count you my dear.
I do begin to perceive that I am made an ass. John Falstaff, serve God and leave your desires, and fairies will not pinch you.
Well said, Fairy Hugh.
And you leave you your jealousies too, I pray you.
I will never mistrust my wife again, till thou art able to woo her in good English.
Have I laid my brain in the sun and dried it, that it wants matter to prevent so gross o'erreaching as this?
Why, Sir John, do you think that we would have thrown virtue out of our hearts by the head and shoulders, and have given ourselves without scruple over to hell, that ever the devil could have made you our delight?
A watery pumpkin, a bag of flax.
Old, cold, and of intolerable entrails.
And slanderous as Satan.
And as poor as Job.
And wicked as his wife.
And given to fornication, and taverns, and to sack and wine, and misdeglings, and drinkings, and swearings, and stirrings, and brivels, and prabbles.
Well, I am your theme. You have the start of me. I am dejected. I am not able to answer the Welsh flannel. Ignorance itself is a plummet o'er me. Use me as you will.
Mary, sir, we'll take you back to Windsor, to one Mr. Brooke that you have cozened of money, to whom you should have been the pander. Above all your other afflictions, I think this one will be especially biting.
Yet be cheerful, knight. Thou shalt eat a posset at my house tonight, for I shall desire thee to laugh at my wife that now laughs at thee. Tell her Mr. Slender hath married her daughter.
Doctors doubt that. If Anne Page be my daughter, she is by this time Dr. Caius's wife.
Oh,
Father Page!
Son, how now, son? Have you dispatched?
Dispatched? I'll make the best in Gloucestershire know on it, with a hanged Lyles.
Of what, son?
I came yonder at Eton to marry Miss Anne Page, And she's a little lousy boy. If it had not been in the church, I would have swinged him, or he would have swinged me. If I did not think it be Anne Page, what I might never stir, 'tis Caius's boy.
Upon my life, then, you took the wrong.
What need you tell me that when I took a boy for a girl? If I'd been married to him, for all he was in woman's apparel, I would not have had him.
Oh, this is your own folly. Did I not tell you you should know my daughter by her garments?
I came to her in white and cried, Mum, and she cried, Budget as Anne, and I had appointed. Yes, it was not Anne, but Caius's boy.
Good George, I knew of your purpose, turned my daughter into green, and she's by this time at the deanery, and they're married to the doctor. Oh.
There is a Mistress Page. By God, I am a cousin. I am married, you garçon, a boy, you paysan, by God. I am a cousin.
Why, did you not take her in green?
Aye, by God, and 'tis a boy. By God, I'll raise all Windsor.
Why, this is strange. Who's got the real Anne?
Lord, excuse me. How now, Mr. Fenton?
Pardon, good father. Good my mother, pardon.
Now, miss, how chance you went not with Mr. Slender?
Why not you went with Mr. Doctor, maid?
You do amaze her. Hear the truth of it. You would have married her most shamefully, where there was no proportion of it held in love. Well, the truth is, she and I, long since contracted, are now so sure nothing can dissolve us. Well, the offense is wholly that she hath committed, and this deceit loses the name of craft, of disobedience, or unduteous title, since therein she doth evitate and shun 1,000 irreligious cursed hours, which forced marriage would have brought upon her.
Stand not amazed. Here is no remedy. In love, heavens themselves do guide the state. Money buys lands. Wives are sold by fate.
I am glad, though you have taken a special stand to strike at me, that your arrow hath glanced.
Well, what remedy? Fenton, heaven give thee joy. What cannot be eschewed must be embraced.
When night dogs run, all sorts of deer are chased.
Well, I will muse no further. Good Mr. Fenton, heaven give thee many, many merry days. Husband, let us home, everyone, and laugh the sport o'er a country farm. Good Sir John and all.
Let it be so. And Sir John, you shall yet hold your word to Master Brooke, for he tonight shall lie with Mistress Ford.